All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating and maybe a little wild philosophical idea that our entire existence, every little thing we do, from our biggest dreams to our tiniest arguments, is actually all just a battle for energy.
Let me ask you something. Think back on every single conflict you've ever had. The little spats, the major blow-ups, all of it. What if I told you that none of them were actually about the money or the chores or who was right or wrong? What if they were all secretly about one single thing?
Well, the philosophy we're digging into today offers a pretty radical answer. It suggests that deep down, underneath everything else, every human interaction is really a struggle for one fundamental resource, our vital energy. It's a huge claim, I know, so let's really unpack what that means.
Now, to get this whole competition for energy thing, we have to start with the absolute basics. The text we're looking at lays out a sort of cosmic blueprint, arguing that the whole universe is built from just three essential parts.
According to this philosophy, all of life is a mix of these three things. You've got structure, which is our physical form. Then there's consciousness, the awareness inside that form. And finally, energy, the life force that makes it all go. The text is pretty clear. Without all three, life just can't exist.
Let's zoom in on that idea of structure. In this way of thinking, it's more than just a body. It's the essential container that holds and gives purpose to energy. Without a structure to live in, energy is just, well, it's powerless chaos.
Okay, so if energy needs a container, what exactly is this energy? Well, the text says it's not just one thing. It actually shows up as two really important dualities.
First, you've got the difference between raw energy and refined energy. In its raw state, it's just chaos. It's messy. It's weak. But once that same energy gets contained by a structure, it becomes what the text calls hondun, a powerful, orderly force. Think of it like the difference between a bunch of aimless steam and that same steam powering a massive locomotive. The second split is yin and yang. Now, this text uses a very traditional, gendered lens here. It associates yang energy with physical matter and men, and it links yin energy to the soul and women. The core idea it's presenting is that we're each born with one type, and we spend our lives searching for the other.
So, how does this big cosmic idea actually play out in our day-to-day lives? Well, this is where it gets super personal, and where this philosophy reframes all of human life as one constant struggle.
This quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of the whole theory. The source claims that from the very moment we're born, it's game on. Life is a competition. We're all trying to get more energy to become stronger, while at the same time desperately trying not to lose the energy we've already got. And this competition apparently starts way back in childhood. The text reinterprets things like a father complex not as a psychological issue, but as a pure and simple search for energy. It suggests girls naturally seek out the yang energy of their fathers, while boys seek out the yin energy of their mothers, all to find that complementary energy that they're missing.
And that drive, it doesn't just stop in childhood. As we grow up, we need way more energy than our parents can give us, so we have to start looking for it somewhere else. According to this text, the real, ultimate goal, even if we don't realize it, of finding a romantic partner is to get access to their complementary energy.
This really puts relationships in a stark new light, doesn't it? That argument you had last week, from this point of view, it was nothing more than an energy grab. This quote is so blunt. All marital problems are basically just raw battles to seize energy from your partner.
So what happens when we're failing in this contest? What are the consequences of being in an energy deficit? This brings us to what the text says is the biggest problem in human behavior, our obsession with control.
According to the source, a lack of energy shows up in some really recognizable ways. Bad tempers, being defensive, low confidence, always complaining. The text argues these aren't just personality flaws, they are the symptoms that you are running on empty.
So to avoid feeling like that, what do people do? They develop a strategy. And the text claims our number one tactic to gain energy is to control other people. Because if you think about it, if you can control someone, you can control their energy.
And this plays out in ways we all know too well. Fighting or giving someone the silent treatment, those are framed as direct tactics to just seize their energy. Jealousy? That's seen as a defense mechanism, a way to stop your partner's energy from leaking out to other people. It's a pretty bleak picture of relationships, isn't it?
But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. After diagnosing the problem, the text actually offers a solution, a way to get out of this draining contest and tap into something so much bigger.
The first step is just realizing our mistake. The source claims that as a species, we've been tragically short-sighted. We've focused on just two very limited ways to get energy, taking it from the planet and taking it from each other. But it insists there are other, boundless sources available to us.
The crucial turning point, then, is to just let go of control. This quote really hammers the point home. It argues that pretty much all the sorrow in our closest relationships comes from this one fundamental mistake: trying to possess and control another person's energy.
So what's the alternative path? Well, the text lays out these 4 steps. First, you abandon control. Simple as that. From there, you cultivate selfless love. The third step is to actively learn how to release your own energy, which finally lets you connect with the universal source, what the text calls the greatest creator.
And this leads to the central, kind of mind-bending paradox of this whole philosophy. In the competitive model, you take to get more. But on this path, the exact opposite is true. As the text says, only by releasing can you obtain. By freely giving your energy away, you open up a channel to receive an infinite supply in return.
Which leaves us with one final big question. Is life truly a zero-sum energy contest? Or is that competitive mindset the actual trap? Maybe the real key isn't to win the struggle, but to stop struggling and just start giving. It's a powerful lens to view our lives through. What do you think?